And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire, in Fontus, some aliens, Mayhem. We're on round 203. We got 2 decisions awaiting us. We didn't achieve that demand. We've discovered the atomic missile. This would be one way to very violently solve our problems for the on the enemy side. Just, use atomic weapons. That'll solve it. We did go mine. We moved away from Vest and moved towards mine, so that wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's take the option. Diseased employees could get help. We actually like enforcement, so no special training.
Aye, sir.
$32.2. Becker's actually falling. Falling a little bit. They were up at 25. I still think we're at the point where we need to fight someone to win. But I would like to have, working logistics before that occurs. Bottleneck. Okay, so we saturated there coming. Well, we've always been saturated there a little bit coming in. Saturated around here. Transit. I guess there's some seasonal variation in how much water is produced. That's probably what there is. There's probably some seasonal variation. So we're almost there with the stability. We just need the rail sorted. We're almost there. The rail is proceeding at speed. Will be done in 2 and probably promptly kick in on 3. The Agri-Dome is done. If I want more food, I'm hoping that is enough food. If we want more food, we need to move to a different... Well, or just build a brand new dome. And hex. Our scrap is starting to get real low in places. I have a heavy industry, right? Would have been built a long time ago. There it is. Yes, it's having other issues. The workers are quitting quicker than they're arriving. Because the civilian pay is too high. Civilians' pay is too high.
Understood.
Because we've just recruited too many, the zone's been shrinking.
Understood. Understood.
And yeah, that's saying we do want to get colonists shipping from over here. Which is a potential problem, at least in the short run. But for whatever reason, the game really wants that road there, and it keeps doing the road there. Okay, if that's the case, we'll just steal that one and demolish that one. It's the same to me as far as I care, but to the game, it's apparently not. How's the shipping over here? It looks reasonable. We got reasonable amount of people here, so we're actually going to call up this zone.
Roger.
And I would like to recruit from this zone. Please and thank you.
Roger.
And here, waiting for cultural adaptation, so when this hits 100, we'll merge these 2 zones. And yeah, food should be trending up. We might need to find a different... We need to improve our oil output. But yeah, food should be trending up because we're upgraded to the farm. 1.4 to 2k base, so should be 600 more base. And it was over 100% production. Should more than enough cover the deficit there. And yeah, it's mostly sending out to units. Colonists and recruits, mostly recruits. At some point, I think we're going to deploy another 2 brigades over here, probably, on the wings. I think that should be enough. And then probably want to deploy, like, a tank brigade, medium tank brigade, for penetrating and actually encircling and mopping things up. They're mostly running light tanks. They got a lot of light tanks, but it's mostly light tanks over here. So, showing them what a real tank looks like would be a very effective way of dealing with them. Okay. Oh, do I need to do diplomacy to delay the inevitable war? No, not yet.
Roger that. Roger that. Roger that. Roger that.
Don't know where we'd play the zoo. Lots of different possible places to play the zoo. Round 204, we got 7 decisions. Quack doctors. Enforcement was high enough, so we completed that demand at least. Automated clinic.
Sir, yes, sir.
I'm gonna say no here. I don't have the workers to work that the beer cutting assets
Yes,
to make
sir.
that possible.
Affirmative.
Oh yeah, man pads should be developed. Super heavy man pad with heavy
Order
combat armor.
received. Good morning. Sir, yes, sir.
Aye, aye, sir.
To 14. Bottleneck is still there because, of course, the rail asset isn't done. It's going to be like 2 more turns. Are we bottlenecked on land? No. Or actually, we are bottlenecked on land. It's the land bit that's the issue. Okay. Okay, I think I've got the metal. Route truck station. Or do you want to do a rail station? I think the truck station here is still a bigger upgrade in throughput. That's 2,400 more throughput versus 2,000. for the cost, yeah. Short term. How much do we have going down that branch line? A lot. Okay. So yeah, we can block like 80% going down that way. We need a little bit to get to the farms, but don't need that much at least.
Copy that. Copy that.
Roger.
Okay. So I think that will help once those are done with the throughput. Food is positive, like super positive. Oil's still a little negative. What's our housing situation looking here? Perfect. Worker, imperfect, civilian. Could improve the housing situation. That's tempting. Sure. Let's build some civilian housing. Some subsidized civilian housing.
Sir, yes, sir.
That way you can try to encourage people to move here. This is where our 2 oil wells are. Double check to make sure my oil doesn't need peripheral mining. Yeah, we got like 20 turns before that becomes a problem. It's upcoming. It's not now. Oh, and you're controlled by the private queue. And the private queue isn't providing enough people to work you. Can use the power of nationalization, just move you to private, or from private to public, where you'll be a little bit more efficient, worker-wise, person-wise. That'll also give us more oil, assuming we keep it functional. Okay, so we'll see if that has solved the oil problem. It might also be a decent zone to drop the clinic in. Clinic in the zoo.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. And you are still blackmailing. That's good. As weird as that sounds, it is better that they are blackmailing than outright hostile. Okay, round to 205. We got 4 decisions. Helicopter engine has been discovered. It would be nice to have some helicopters. We like enforcement, so reverse the decision. Private assets go up 2. We'll agree to that, even though I don't have any real control over it.
Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, more colonists are arriving. We probably had some delay in the expansion of those truck hubs. Rail station, Moon Slope complete. We should see the effects of that really next turn. Social housing is delayed, but it should finish next turn. Truck station is delayed, and truck station is not delayed. Because that one's not delayed, this one is.
Copy that.
Due probably the lack of workers. So yeah, throw more workers at the problem and it'll sort itself out. Okay, so they're trying to instigate the war again.
Yes, sir.
Calm them back down. In the short run, we have a shortage of workers here, so that we don't have oil coming out of those oil wells. All that should improve over the couple turns. That's also a good place to upgrade. We can upgrade that from 1 to 2, and then we need to get enough people in here. Then the zone goes to 3, so we can upgrade the wells. Not group move, or the group move would work for what I'm trying to do. So normal move will be fine. And we're still getting bottlenecking up to these 2 cities. I don't want to pay the metal cost to get the rail up there, and I'm pretty sure it's action points is the issue. I think we're out of action points somewhere along the way. Great, we're up at 105 out of 97 there, so it's action points. So the other way is we could get some truck going here, but that won't turn on without the action points, so we're going to have to do the rail. So I don't need to do a truck like in the middle. I can do a rail all the way through and then do a truck at the end. This is how we're going to work that. 23. We're waiting for it to get up to 100. Metal is downtrending, but that's probably due to the double truck station being constructed. Rail, as well as the rail. The rail will go away on the next one, and we can probably start on expanding the metal soil filtration. Thinking we want to deal with the happiness here with housing. We can. This at one point was one of our bigger cities. Yeah, it's gone and shrunk. Partially because everyone's been running off to the capital. Which in the long run is probably fine. In the short run, it's a little bit annoying. Because this was one of the places we were making bureaucracy and food and such. I'd like to keep enough people around to, you know, make the bureaucracy and food. Still have the bunlocking over here. Although we don't have bunlocking really on you. So let's call you up.
Roger.
Zone orders. Why don't you just start providing me colonist recruits? Is that... Okay, so I can probably reliably say you're going to give me that. So let's ask for that.
Roger.
Without shrinking the city. And that city's big enough that we don't... Well, we don't want it necessarily to shrink, but we don't necessarily need it to grow anytime soon. Because growing it and would just interfere with more coastal shipping. If that rail hub does what I wanted to do and clear up the bottleneck here, we may start recruiting from both of these two as well, for similar reasons. There's enough growth there that we can translate that into either troops and or colonists. To fix things back on the main continent. But yeah, some of our biggest cities. So this was one that had to be over 100,000. Begun to shrink, except for the capital, because we improved the housing in the capital, so everyone's migrating to the capital. Okay, back around to us. Round 206, we have 7 decisions. Not all of them are good decisions. Need extra funds. Sure,
Yes,
have
sir.
funds. We can
Yes,
farm
sir.
here. Profile, at least 27 points. We're going to
Yes, sir.
refuse because we're not doing merit. This is postpone. Democracy.
Sir, yes,
Do what you can to
sir.
mitigate the
Roger
weapon
that,
exploding. And then full support
Order
here. Critical success, no danger increase. Good. Okay, social housing is complete there. I'm not going to turn around to immediately rush to do even more expansion, although I am tempted to throw colonists at the problem. In theory, we've got enough work. With the construction done, we now have enough workers to get the oil flowing. And the sort of shipment we're doing over here should not be bottlenecked by it, so we should be seeing more oil. Although, actually, that's a good question. Is it going to be worth expanding the oil? There, that only takes 400 workers.
Sir, yes,
we'll
sir.
queue up an expansion, we'll throw a bunch of construction workers at the place and just call it good.
Sir, yes, sir.
So you finished. You should be done next turn. You should be done in 2. Just queued you up, and you hopefully will be done in 2. You'll be done in a turn, you'll be done in 2. Mining overview. It is going to accelerate the rate which we go through the oil, although these are oil wells that can be expanded, so we're not too worried if they run out. It just means they're going to go slower. Of course, some of the best oil deposits are really far away from our major cities. Because it'd be too nice if they were close, right? Bottlenecks. Did we clear up the bottleneck? No. Well, that's a shame. You're done. You're done. Almost. Almost. And you did ship your colonists. Okay. So I think it comes down to how that almost proceeds over the next couple turns. Yeah, it depends on how that almost proceeds over the next couple turns. Turbojet's 80, 81, 40. High-speed rail would be nice. Fontus is 88, okay. The diplomacy over here with you. You're at 60, so that's still fine. Might be tempting to try to... Nah, they're not gonna come around to trade.
Roger that. Roger that. Roger that. Roger that.
Okay. Anyway, still waiting on you two. Well, specifically waiting on this one's cultural acceptance value to get to 100. It's up at 34. So it's moving. Okay, it's around 207. We got 8 decisions. We've discovered automated logistics. That's probably what we're going to do next, because that'll definitely help the throughput on shipping things around. We don't allow private armies. This is just to confirm.
Roger that.
I guess it's just no new orders. Waiting on techs for any real upgrades.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's good to see critical success on those. We will refuse their payment for opinion buff. That puts them in the 70s, so that's actually bought us like the point where it's going to take 2 turns for them to get slow enough. Don't like the metal, still trending down. Although that's really just me saying I need to stop building stuff. Truck station is level 3. Next turn we should see that kicking in. Social housing will help with keeping people in this town. Work apartments should be done doing the same thing as well next turn. Oil drilling facility should be done next turn. Truck station should be done next turn. You got about 3 turns left in you. Maybe if you get really lucky 2, but probably 3. You got about 2 turns left in you. Oh, that feels slow. It's got 7, maybe 8 turns in high speed. It is high speed we're working on, right? Yeah. I should probably save and build the high tech. Although maybe there's an argument that I need the metal soil filtration more than I need the high tech. What does high tech actually cost to build? Surprisingly cheap. The expensive bit here is that it's 2 high tech parts for 5 turns, so it's 10 parts. And then we'll have net 5 out, which, at least for a very long while, we'll just be like, okay, now we can build whatever high-tech industry we want, because we've got the 5 parts. As long as we're building like 1 or 2 a turn, we'll be fine. Oh, we saturated one of the routes. Almost saturated another. We're not saturated on that one. Where? Okay, so that's fine, that's fine. That one's not bottlenecked. Okay, so it's just taking an interesting way to get around, apparently, but I think in theory we got everything shipping. You shipped everything, you shipped everything. Technically didn't ship all the water. I'm not sure why you didn't ship all the water, but that's fine. And yeah, we've got that up to there. Okay. Yeah, if everything's in theory shipping, we're gonna request that these zones start to provide more personnel for the main coffers. You're naturally growing 14. Basically, I'm going to take the natural natural growth here. So we can either send it as troops to the front line or colonists to the places that need, people. And then the same here. You're growing slower, only 1,000, but we can call you up and make arrangements for those 1,000 to arrive.
Aye, aye, sir.
Up another 19 points, so like 4 turns it should be done. Yeah, we're still struggling with the truck station, but it just upgraded. Should really kick in next turn, which would see spare throughput through there. Need more workers, so we'll just ship you workers. And yeah, you're one of the places that's making food, so that'll help make the food. Do we have enough here? We had enough there, although we'll get even more when the oil drill is done. So we've got a drill there, we got a drill there, got a drill there. All are working. As they go, okay. That scavenge place is about to run out of scavenge. Once that's done, I can just delete that road. Arguably, maybe I should have deleted that road already, but it's mostly taking truck points, not rail points.
Roger that. Roger that.
There's the workings.
Roger that.
Okay, let's cycle the turn. Right now we got a few things that are cycling down, but none of them are concerning. The most concerning one is the metal, but we know as long as we stop building, it'll go back up. Okay, back around us. It's round 208. We got 3 decisions.
Understood.
At least 2 of these
Aye, aye,
decisions just
sir.
hit confirm. And this one's just
Understood.
press the democracy button. Okay. Oil is up. You have even more oil next turn as get the effects of that kicking in. Food is up. We could probably get food up more if we ship more workers in here. Oh no, we got the right amount of workers. Exactly. At this point, it probably just needs more colonists, so we're not having to pay those workers an arm, a leg, and a kidney. Just to keep them working. And yeah, we're positive on everything again, so that's good. And everything's done. Everything's done. So, in theory, that's giving us a rough approximate of... Well, no, because we spent metal... Well, wait another turn, I think we'll start either the high-tech factory or expanding the demilitarization facility. Apparently this is a map that has no radioactives in the soil for whatever reason. So soil demilitarization is not going to provide us radioactives. It's still providing us metal and rare earth. Although it's still pretty bad. But instead of going to very weird and awkward places for our metal, that's better than nothing. Okay, they did push us down. We were up at 70. They're now down to 50. The truck station coming online wasn't enough to fix our transit problems here. Although I say that, and actually, arguably, it was enough to fix our problems. It's just not enough to have the problem, or have the stockpiles deplete. So hopefully the improvement on this end will also help get a little bit faster. We'll see. We shall see. In the meantime, we'll do Captain Retreat
Roger that.
and a War Games.
Roger that.
Oh, let's double check to make sure none of the mines are empty. They probably aren't if we're, you know, net positive. Yeah. It does look like if we want radioactives, we're going to have to mine those radioactives specifically. Although, that's not... I suppose that's a 9-accessibility radioactive, so if we're going to want the radioactives, that'll be perfectly fine thing to do. That's not technically run out. I suppose they might technically be able to scavenge from the neighbors. Don't remember that being a thing, but that one's still somehow zombie running off of 0 scrap. Yeah, because there's nothing left in that hex, so I guess it must be able to scrap a little bit from the neighboring as well. Oh well. Cycle the turn. And yeah, we'll probably do the high-tech parts. I might turn the high-tech facility down to 25% just to save on power. Not sure how much power we have kicking around. Back around to us, round 209, we have 5 decisions. Nope. We're achieving some of our demands and failing some other ones. Battle Bus is complete.
Sir, yes, sir.
Copy that.
Do I want the atomic missile? I suppose that gets going into atomics a little bit faster. Although that's the atomic missile, I think here is a dead end. Well, I say dead end. I think it's for the missile launcher. It would help us get through atomics a little bit faster. So if we wanted to go into orbital weapons, if our response to them declaring war in the end on us is just firing off the ICBMs, I think that's a little overkill, but it might technically work. Okay, so we got the atomic missile, electric engine, and gas-powered small arms. We're not going to bother the gas-powered small arms until we run out of other things to do. So it's a toss-up between the engines and the missile. I suppose we'll do the engines. The engines might allow us to save some fuel at some point.
Understood. Copy that.
We're being blackmailed. Just double the
Sir,
payment.
yes, sir.
Yep, that worked. We're running food malice again. Are we... well, I suppose we just got that many more soldiers in stockpile now. Could be it. Or it could be some sort of shipping issue from somewhere. everything shipped, everything... Well, not everything shipped there, but close enough to everything shipped there. Okay. Yeah, what we've got... I can double the power coming out of the power plant over here. That'd give us another 1,000 power. I think we should do the high-tech industry, which is going to about 1,000 power, so we shouldn't be in complete worried about brownout if we were to build the high-tech industry right now. We got enough metal saved up. I see no reason not to
Roger that,
start a building.
sir.
Then reports, orgs, model. I'm thinking it's time to upgrade the infantry. See, what is the field testing's up to 64%. I suppose I could hold off a little bit. The thought process is maybe go to battle dress. I might try to skip battle dress and go straight to heavy battle dress. Yeah, which means we need 4 in automation. We've already got 1 in automation. We're going to want to do the automated ones because they're really nice techs, right? We're probably going to do automated logistics as soon as high speed is done. So. MTHs, make sure none of our contracts are running out. Some of them are getting pretty close. So you,
Yes,
give me
sir.
another 10 rounds. We notice you're in the single
Yes,
digits, so
sir.
we'll just take another 10 rounds there. Anyway, probably makes sense to upgrade the ports instead of just shoving more in the transits. Although upgrading the ports is more metal, and I need more demilitarization plants or more mines or whatever to fix that. Okay, you have a lot more private jobs needing filling. Slowly trying to fix you just by throwing people at the problem. See how well that works. I suppose that, again, that's another way to fix the food problem, because I think that's food, right? Oh, and some industry, so we'd get more IP as well. Okay.
Roger that. Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, passing back to us shortly. Round 210, we got 13 decisions. Lots of decisions. Marauders, wasteful accident, deadly alien pathogen. So 3 of the decisions are not great. Now in a time of learning, that's good. Turbojet's been developed, so what to replace the turbojet's going to be one of the decisions. I know what thing's going to replace it. It's going to be helicopters. Helicopters or engines. Civil delegation's nice. Merit down,
Roger.
mind up.
Sir, yes, sir.
Research.
Affirmative.
Accept.
Yes,
Helicopter
sir.
engine.
Good morning.
Democracy,
Yes, sir.
democracy,
Roger that.
democracy, democracy.
Order acknowledged.
Roger that. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Roger that.
Which is the place that doesn't go to level 3? That, no. No. Ah, the port. The port's upgraded to level 3. Fair enough.
Roger that. Roger that.
Okay. So that's gonna eat some of the metal, but that's probably fine. Construction-wise, high-tech is proceeding at speed, so that's good to see. Oh, and we saturated that route. We fixed a problem and made a different problem, yes. Let me guess, what do we saturate it with? Water? Of course it's water. Okay, we are shipping more than we're making, it's just the route's saturated for the moment. So, long term, that is make the port bigger. On both sides. Okay, they're happy enough for the moment.
Roger that. Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, I think we're just gonna cycle the turn. Yeah, we'll cycle the turn and everything continues going well. We'll probably try to do the metal soil, the soil demineralization upgrade, which will provide us with more metal, and then probably do that again, and do that again, and do that again, because we need the metal. If we can get a healthy amount of metal coming in, then we can start thinking about rallying new units on the other continent. Again, I think if we can get 2 brigade deep of infantry all the way along the front line, not per hex, I mean, right now we've got them sort of 1, 2, 1, sort of abreast. If we bring another 2 in for the flanks and then bring in like a tank unit, we should be, or a brigade of tanks, we should be good to attack at that point. Right, because you can see we look outnumbered, right? And the scariest thing about the things that are outnumbering us is that they're all tanks. They're all little tanks, but there's a lot of tanks. And there's a smattering infantry in there. We bring in big enough tanks that we're not going to worry about the smattering infantry. We'll just sort of roll them out of the way with the infantry support and the tanks coming in as an armored fist. And part of the reason I think my armor will do better than their armor is that we know their armor is light armor, and the armor I'm going to bring in is going to be medium armor. We technically have one light tank over there, one set of light tanks over there anyway, but we'll probably bring in bigger tanks when we come over. To 11, we have 6 decisions. Back doctors.
Yes, sir.
Incident. We like enforcement, so we punish them.
Roger.
rolled oral, but give more to the person who succeeds.
Sir, yes,
Democracy. Democracy.
acknowledged.
Yes,
Mitigate the
sir.
quack doctor as best you can. Okay, so we are trending down a little bit because I queued up more things to build last turn. The worker apartment, however, is basically taken all it's going to take. And this is because we got the workers unhappy there, and it's not pay, it's quality of life. So if we can build worker housing, that will just help. Okay, I'm going to bite the bullet, and we're going to start the demilitarization facility. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Yeah, must harvest from the neighboring ones as well, not just the one it's on. Okay, then from a colonist standpoint, we still want to get you... Actually have your private jobs full again, so send population.
I'm on it.
Oh, and you got down to 40. We'd like you to be like 50. If we can manipulate you to be there. Okay, we've got 1,000. The best
Sir,
we
yes,
got.
sir.
45 is better than none. Also got the civil delegation.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Roger that. Roger that.
Let me cycle the turn again. Back around to us. Round 212, we got 6 decisions. Ancient Weapon Waters, so that's off to a bad start. We know 2/3 of the events are bad events. And that's just to
Yes, sir.
confirm.
Order
Just to
acknowledged.
confirm.
I'm on it. Sir,
Democracy,
yes, sir.
democracy.
Affirmative.
Mitigate it. And
Yes,
mitigate
sir.
it.
Roger that, sir.
I'm on it.
Okay. Construction-wise, work apartment's finished, so that should make those workers happier. High-tech industries proceed at speed. Demilitarization going at speed. So in 2 turns, we should have all the high-tech parts we want for the rest of the game, at least for construction purposes. If I start going into robots, robot troopers, which is tempting. That's one way to get around the whole how do we find the uniforms, the men to put in the uniforms problem, then we'll be wanting high-tech parts out the wazoo, because each part is, I believe, a robo-trooper. But yeah. So usually for construction, one is enough. If you want to go robots with them, you need a lot more. Soil demilitarization facility, we got 5 turns on that. We are running metal negative, but when the high-tech one finishes, we'll go back to positive. So that shouldn't be a problem. That should be sustainable at this rate. Everything shipped, everything shipped, everything shipped, and everything shipped. That's good to see. At some point, we'll need to get a rail connection up to here to get these zones to be happy. Was the zone having hunger issues? No. Not serious, at least. Same there. Okay, you're up to 100 at Cultural Agitation, Zor. You got 100 loyalty, so it's actually time for you to merge.
Yes, sir.
Merge into there. Because as a light industry, it's unwilling to merge. Only source zone is national culture. 100% of the population will transfer. Cool. Yeah, and the only thing you have is industry. I'd be losing this industry is basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete the industry. Although we'll just delete the industry. That's fine. And now, if we look at it, it's going to tell me I'm not getting 100% transfer. Oh, no, it's going to work. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The governor doesn't like he doesn't have a job anymore, because we just destroyed his job. Governor succeeds to reduce the negative effects and refusal chances. Yeah. Wishes have been executed. Departing work and happiness went down -3. Loyalty is now at 88. 64 or 6,400 population has moved. New population happiness 74. 7,600 workers moved. There we go. So it's now all one zone. Because it seemed a little silly to have 2 zones right next to each other. Just a little. I suppose we know we have enough capacity. Well, I suppose one way I could get the logistics over there, instead of running the rail line through, is I could just do another trade route, or another merchant route, maritime route. Another 10 rounds on you, and then we'll do maritime transport route from this area. I'll probably do a small one just into the capital for the moment. If we can build a truck hub up here, then the area should actually be able to support itself, and we can just let it time out. Short one for short duration should be fine. And yeah, otherwise, I think this is I think the run is going well. Construction is going well. Our logistics is finally starting to sort itself out. We're up at 32.4% of victory. There's another just under, let's say, 18% we need to go to win. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like, I'm not going to do the math right now. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 5% unclaimed. So we're still looking like we need to take another 11, 12% off for someone else. So at some point, we're going to go to war with Becker. Right. The easiest expand location we've got is this front with Becker. I think this Lancaster here, I think is probably worth like 5-6%. But Becker is probably when we're going to fight. So we're going to say integrate them, and then we fight these guys, and we just got to roll down the peninsula. So we know there's a port city, a port city, a port city. That's probably a port city. That's probably a port city. Just down, 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 down. Rolling through all this. Oh, I suppose we've saturated the trade, or saturated that transport route. Everything is shipping except the water, so I'm not going to complain too much, but that is a thing to remember is we actually can't put more troops over here until we sort out that logistics line. But yeah, we'll have to do that in the future. But yeah, basically, when we go on the offensive, the front is as basically large as it's going to be. That's why I think we want like another brigade of professionals over here, another brigade of professionals over here. Probably a brigade of like medium tanks that'll do the penetration and encirclement so we can start doing destruction in detail of their forces. So do like penetrate, capture the port, pull it out, penetrate, capture the port. At some point, either these guys will start running out of troops, or we'll trim them down enough that we can start doing more stuff. Or, to be fair, we could probably just do a deeper penetration someplace somewhere. Maybe we can just do penetrate like that. Break up the units, crush them. Break up the units, crush them. That's what we're going to be doing when we go to war. We got a war plan. The problem is the war plan needs logistics, and we don't quite have the logistics we want. And the thing that's really stopping us from fixing it right now is we don't have enough metal. So it's technically, I think there's down here is a metal line, or is that an oil well? And the ball mic's off in a moment, and hide the units. That was oil. Oil's down here. But yeah, this is not a particularly good planet for metal, so we're struggling with metal. It makes me surprised that the AI is able to find so many tanks, honestly. Because this has got to be a lot of metal. I don't imagine this not being a lot of metal. But yeah, they got a lot of tanks. So we need to be ready to deal with those tanks. So I think another 2 brigade, well, effectively 3 if you include the tank brigade. Three more brigades over there, and I think we'll be able to start fighting them. Because their guys are not that much better than ours. And one of the options I can do is I can decide we're upgrading the infantry right before we go in. These guys are running heavy combat armor. We could go up to battle dress. What are they running? Probably heavy combat? Yeah, they're probably running heavy combat. The other option is delay until we get heavy battle dress, and then we run heavy battle dress, which will be much better than heavy combat armor. So, at least our infantry will be... They'll be hitting our infantry with sort of nerf bats because of the penetration penalties they'll be running. So we should be able to hold in that scenario pretty easily. If not, be fairly aggressive on the attack. But yeah, so we're winning, but translating winning into have won is a slow and arduous process on island maps like this. And then in tech, we're real close to high speed. We'll get it done early next stream. We're doing electric engines, and we finished jet. The helicopter engines actually be pretty nice. Because we will do sort of reconnaissance with them. Oh, well. We'll have to design some helicopters first and figure out if we can get viable helicopters. We can't always get them on all the planets. But yeah, I hope you've been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, there likely will be a part up for you by tomorrow. Assuming we're going according to schedule. We should have gotten around to recording another one for you by tomorrow. And... if everything goes according to schedule, if you're watching this on YouTube and you can't wait till tomorrow, you can probably sneak over to Twitch and watch the after VOD. Because the VOD does stay up for 14 days after the recording. It just won't be the local 60 frames per second local recording. It'll be whatever went up to Twitch at the time. So yeah. Let me go over the schedule for the next couple days. We're watching on Twitch. So tomorrow will be Whiskerwood. We're going to continue that city building with mice. We'll be on year 2 of that colony builder. Monday will be Terra Invicta. We are the initiative. Following that eventful July, I think we'll start profiting from Jupiter real quickly. We haven't completely driven everyone from Jupiter, and our ships are kind of... how to describe it? Are currently stranded, waiting for a space dock to be made so they can refuel. But that's already queued up. That'll be done in 90 days. That's how I know we're going to start profiting from Jupiter pretty quickly. And we can just start sending the colonies up. We just have to be worried that the aliens might roll in and try to blow them up. Because our ships can't respond to protect them for 90 days. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing on Monday. So we have Whiskerwood tomorrow, Terra Invicta Monday, Tuesday. will be Sea Lion in Panzer Corps 2, and then Wednesday we will be back with Shadow Empire. Maybe we might get to the point where we're doing some combat next time. So yeah, this is where we're going to head and put the end in. I hope you've all been enjoying. We're ending this stream at the end of round 212. After I end this YouTube recording, I'm going to put a quick save in here. If there's anything you want to see stat-wise and you're watching on Twitch, feel free to let me know. I can always look at any of the stats or reports or whatever. Same thing if you're watching on YouTube. I can always make a short of opening up the reports or whatever to read the reports to you. I do save all the auto-saves from this game, so I have every turn. So with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next one, and bye for now.